Everyone tells you the same thing. Buy the Toyota, it is the safe choice, the reliable one. The hybrid that simply refuses to die. And maybe that is true, but here is what almost nobody admits. Honda built a hybrid that feels alive in a way Toyota never aimed for. And Hyundai quietly packed more technology into the same price bracket than either of them. So which one is actually right for you? Not on paper, not in a brochure, in your real life, in your driveway, with your money on the line. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which of these three hybrids fits the way you actually drive, because the truth is simple. The best hybrid on the market depends entirely on who is buying it, and that is exactly where most people make their first mistake. Let me start with something most people overlook. These three companies are not chasing the same goal. They only look similar from the outside. Think of it this way. Toyota is engineered like an appliance, built to start every morning, ask nothing of you, and outlast almost everything around it. Honda is engineered for drivers. The whole system is tuned to feel connected and natural, like the car actually enjoys being driven. And Hyundai? Hyundai is engineered like a smartphone on wheels. Screens, features, assistance systems, all arriving years before the others dare to ship them. And these philosophies are not just marketing. They shape everything that follows, from how much fuel you burn to how much you spend keeping the car alive 10 years from now. But philosophy alone tells you nothing about how these cars behave every single day. So let us talk about fuel economy, because this is where the marketing and the reality stop agreeing. The numbers printed on the window sticker come from controlled testing. Your commute is not controlled. In stop-and-go city traffic, the Toyota and Honda systems shine. Recovering energy every time you brake. Gliding on electric power at low speed. On the open highway, the gap shrinks. Because at a steady 70 miles per hour, the gasoline engine is doing most of the work and the hybrid advantage fades. Cold weather changes everything again. It forces the engine to run longer just to warm up, so your efficiency drops before you have even left your street. What surprises most owners is this. Hyundai, often dismissed as the value option, frequently matches or beats the others in mixed driving, while Toyota stays the most consistent no matter how badly you treat it. Honda lands in between, rewarding a gentle foot and punishing a heavy one. But here is the twist. None of those fuel numbers will matter much if you are the kind of owner who trades cars every 4 years. Keep that in the back of your mind, because we are coming back to it. Now we arrive at the question that keeps buyers awake at night. Reliability, and specifically, the battery. Here is something almost nobody tells you. The battery is usually not what kills a hybrid. There is a myth that hybrid batteries die at 8 years and cost a fortune to replace. The reality is far less dramatic. These batteries degrade slowly and gradually, losing a little capacity over many years rather than failing all at once. Toyota has the longest proven record here, countless high-mileage examples still running on their original packs. Honda is close behind. A simpler system that gives fewer parts a chance to fail. Hyundai is the newcomer. Their earlier hybrids had a rougher reputation, but their current generation has improved dramatically and carries one of the most generous warranties in the entire industry. That warranty matters, because it tells you how much confidence the manufacturer has in its own engineering. The expensive failures people fear are genuinely rare, but reliability is only half of the story, because there is another number that quietly costs owners far more than a battery ever will. That number hides inside the true cost of ownership, and the price on the window is only the beginning. Scheduled maintenance on a Toyota hybrid is famously cheap. Honda is similar, and its hybrids are gentle on brakes, thanks to regenerative braking that does most of the slowing for use. Hyundai sits slightly higher on routine service, but rarely by a painful amount. The real differences appear after the warranty ends. And this is the part dealers almost never explain. Parts availability is excellent for Toyota and Honda almost everywhere, while Hyundai parts can occasionally take longer to source depending on where you live. Tires, insurance, and dealer labor rates all stack on top. Add it all up across 8 or 10 years. And the cheapest car to buy is not always the cheapest car to own. But ownership is not only about what you spend, it is also about what you get back when you walk away. And this brings us to the number I promised you. Here is something almost nobody realizes. Over 10 years, depreciation usually costs you more than gasoline. Not maintenance, not tires, not insurance, depreciation. The money the car silently loses just by sitting in your driveway. And this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable for two of these brands. Toyota dominates here. And it is not close. A used Toyota hybrid holds its value so well that buyers will pay a premium for one with high mileage, simply because they trust it. Honda holds value respectably, landing in a strong middle position. Hyundai has historically depreciated faster. Wonderful news if you are buying used. Frustrating news if you are selling. But that gap is narrowing every year as the brand earns more trust. The buyer who plans to sell in a few years should care about this more than almost anything else. The buyer who keeps a car forever can almost ignore it. Remember that owner who trades every 4 years? This is the number that will quietly drain their wallet. Of course, you have to actually live inside the car you choose. So let us talk about how these three feel from behind the wheel. Hyundai leads on technology without much argument. Their screens are larger, their interfaces feel more modern, and their assistance features tend to arrive first. Toyota has improved enormously, but still feels the most conservative inside. Function over flash. Honda strikes a balance. Interiors that feel solid and thoughtfully arranged rather than dazzling. On ride comfort and cabin quietness, the gap is small, though Honda often earns praise for a planted, confident feel on the road. So the question you have to answer is simple. Do you want the car that feels the most modern today, or the one that will still feel dependable a decade from now? Because almost nobody gets both. And that brings us to the part that actually matters. Because none of this means anything until we connect it to you. If you're a daily commuter crawling through city traffic, the Toyota and Honda hybrids will reward you with the best efficiency and the lowest stress. If you spend most of your life on the highway, the differences shrink, and comfort and quietness should guide you more than fuel numbers. The family buyer should weigh space, safety technology, and the peace of mind that comes from a strong warranty, which pushes Hyundai and Toyota to the front. The budget-conscious buyer shopping used will find the smartest value in a Hyundai, while the same buyer shopping new should think hard about Toyota resale. The technology enthusiast who loves screens and features will feel most at home in the Hyundai, and the owner who plans to keep this car for 15 years or more should buy the Toyota and never look back. While the person leasing for 3 to 5 years can chase whatever feels best, because reliability over the long run is someone else's problem by then. So remember how we started? Everyone says to buy the Toyota. And after looking at all of it, I still understand exactly why they say that. Toyota is still the benchmark for reliability and resale, the safe answer that is almost never wrong. But I also understand why that advice is quietly wrong for thousands of buyers every single day. Because Honda remains the driver's choice, the one that feels the most natural and alive in everyday driving, and Hyundai offers the most technology and the most value for the money, as long as you can accept slightly faster depreciation. There is no perfect hybrid. Every advantage you saw today came attached to a compromise. Brand loyalty can get surprisingly expensive, while knowing your own priorities saves far more than chasing the best badge. Because buying the best hybrid was never about finding the best car. It is about finding the best compromise for the way you actually live. So let me leave you with one question. And I genuinely want your answer below. If you had to buy one of these three tomorrow and keep it for the next 10 years, which one would you choose? And what would make you trust it with a decade of your life?